I have nothing better to do. So, playing around with the elements here, kind of an introduction here. More ethnic music without the questionable magic. Just a remembrance. And it seems like I've heard this tune before. But we'll try to tackle the news. Have crazy eyes. Hey, I bet she needs to be medicated. Of course, it's different for a woman. When women emit that beauty, men want to fuck them. It's when the male exerts that beauty that they come what a gem. This wasn't the song I was going to go for. In any case, woman arrested after TV reporter found dead in Canton Hotel. Lawsuit alleges horrific abuse at Arizona facility for troubled teens. I just figured I could just show you some of what's happening. School district uses N-word in newsletter to parents. 2 teenagers stabbed to death during a fight inside pizzeria. Okay, so a lot of craziness here.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for watching. I'm Katie Moore.
And they keep playing up the whole 2025 was the great year of us doing lots of geopolitical reporting. There's no major national emergency regarding World War III with China, but it is assumed by myself and others that we're on the edge of this. And as Shakespeare says, all the world's a script. So, continue on.
A woman has been arrested in connection with the case of a Kansas City reporter who died while in town to cover the Super Bowl. Kenner police say they have video of the suspect leaving the hotel room where the reporter died. Paul Murphy has the latest on this developing investigation.
Kenner police have arrested a Slidell woman they believe may have had something to do with the death of Kansas City Telemundo correspondent Adnan Manzano.
Woman declared a
Manzano was in New Orleans to cover the Super Bowl. He was found dead in his hotel room at a Kenner Comfort Inn 2 days ago.
Upon the detectives processing the hotel room, Mr. Manzano's hotel room, they had discovered that a credit card was missing. It was the same credit card that was used to check into the hotel, as well as a cell phone.
Here we go. You're looking for a little bit of this. But an insinuation that you had anything to do with them dying. You might be alive and well, like bumping into this in the streets of DC. Like, however doubtful. And not tell you that I've heard this before. It went in the modern Atlantis, which is what this is, right? The modern Atlantis. Okay.
According to Kenner Police Chief Keith Connolly, detectives checked the hotel's security cameras. It showed 48-year-old Danette Colbert leaving Manzano's room early Wednesday morning. Police found Colbert in New Orleans and arrested her Thursday night. They found Manzano's credit card and cell phone during a search of her home. Investigators say the card had been used at several stores in the city.
It's important to note that Ms. Colbert's criminal history does include 2 instances where she drugged a victim and stole his access device cards and things of that nature.
Court records indicate Colbert has been arrested in New Orleans at least 6 times over the past 12 years. The crimes include theft, bank fraud, and second-degree battery. She also has an arrest record in Jefferson Parish and Las Vegas, Nevada. Telemundo New Orleans news director.
So 4 videos there. All right. And so by showing you the 4 titles, I can go ahead and skip actually playing these. I don't make any money, and it's traumatizing just knowing this stuff's going on. So I'm thinking ever more so, how do I just summarize the news without even having to click on it and just making you aware of it? So what do we want to click on first? And I've already looked at it. Woman suffers broken jaw after she says Amazon worker punched her. Lots of different directions we can go on that. Lawsuit alleges horrifying sexual abuse at Arizona facility for troubled teens. So, I mean, just, I don't know what you're thinking. I'm thinking just absolute monstrous stuff.
New accusations
Inspired by
against a
pornography,
behavioral
BDSM,
health
whips,
paid to
like
help
extreme
at-risk
sexual
teenagers.
degradation.
Last month, the ABC 15
Your guess is as good as
reported
mine.
on the facility's
Horrific
history
sexual
of
abuse.
fines and violations.
Horrific
Tonight,
sexual
ABC
abuse.
15 investigator Jennifer
Pornographic.
Kovaleski is back with an exclusive interview. Former resident claims she was sexually assaulted multiple times in a new lawsuit, and she's one of more than a dozen alleged victims who say they were assaulted by staff members. We want to warn you, the details involve alleged sexual assault and are disturbing.
I was sent there when I was 15.
Unspeakable horrors.
They were supposed to help me there,
Looks like a 5-minute video.
Horrific sexual abuse.
and they didn't.
A venue for employee abusers.
They would brag about what they would do to me.
High five, film it, put on Pornhub.
Those words from a 55-page lawsuit describing accusations from
Or
13
somewhere. In the future, I assume there'll be other websites. Maybe they already do it on the dark web.
alleged victims spanning more than a decade.
It's hard to even talk about.
Her name is Melissa Catalano, officially MC in the recently filed lawsuit. She was a minor at the time.
It has been a lot of pain that I've had to live for a really long time.
The lawsuit says the assaults happened here at Mingus Mountain Academy, this remote Arizona facility for troubled teens.
I've not lived a normal life since Mingus.
Melissa is now one of 13 women who claim they were sexually assaulted or abused by staff at the all-girl behavioral health facility in Prescott Valley. Why now?
For me, it has taken a lot of time to understand that I didn't deserve this. It has taken a lot of strength for me to come forward.
Melissa says she grew up in Arizona's foster care system.
I was meaning to bring this up to you. We will go back to that video in case you're curious. Look at the icon over here with the black man holding the Asian woman. Violence is the answer. Well, I just thought it was interesting that he would go with that pick, being that it, I don't know, we can interpret that in a number of different ways. Haven't really watched it yet, but there's a lot of ways in which people are argumenting for their violent ways. So I'm going to be on the lookout for
I
anything like that.
bounce from home to home, from family to family.
Her story at Mingus Mountain Academy began in 2017.
And then I just told you about another sexual assault story that has me disturbed, where a woman was in the U.S. Air Force, then prostituted herself, then got killed.
She was just
Kind of a
15.
very unfortunate series of circumstances. First, Uncle Tom traffics her, and whatever could have happened to her in the military behind closed doors. Then there's whatever happens to her in regular society.
Years old.
How would you describe Mingus Mountain Academy?
Cold, lonely, scary.
Let's take a brief break now that we don't have anybody watching, and it's just you and me, which is basically just me, myself, and that guy. Great lightning on my phone. Disclaimer: I did not grow up this way. I was neglected and alone. But had I grown up this way, oh, what Camellia I could have had. Something happy like that. I'm not protesting this building or that building, but singing, oh, how happy I am. I'm so happy. I sing like this. I'm singing like this. I'm singing like this. I'm singing now. I'm singing now. Can't you see, dear mommy? I'm singing. Have you heard of the Tom Green Show? Have you seen parallels between myself and the Tom Green Show? I haven't even tried it. Okay, let's go back to this. She looks quite interesting.
Just hell.
Sent by the state,
Troubled
she says
teen.
against her will.
I begged my caseworker not to send me there. And they sent me anyways.
And what she says happened there forever changed her.
They have
Right.
this thing called staff shadow.
According to the lawsuit, staff members would be assigned as shadows to the residents. Melissa says her shadow was one of the male employees.
I was on his shadow most often.
Yeah, so when I ordered this robe, it was for females initially.
And he
Not
would
that it was
say
a
I
big
was his
deal.
favorite.
And
Right.
residents were required to always follow their assigned
The
shadow.
idea of being followed and tagged and traced. You see, I have a big empathy with regards to human trafficking victims, and I've been through things people haven't been through themselves, like the people that watch me on YouTube. Like I've been doing this for a number of years, and I've had this horrifying, traumatic thing happen to me, and the people that brought me into this world are hesitant to have anything to do with acknowledging their role in some of the things that have happened to me, and acknowledging their role in obsessing on controlling my life when I was basically what they would call a baby. But even when I grew out of being a baby, they would still refer to me as being a baby, even when I was out of the baby years. Very obsessed, very much obsessed with the baby years.
When all the other girls
Very suspicious perspective.
were upstairs.
Bringing up
And
the
he would take
Seinfeld
me
baby
down
clip.
to the showers. And he'd make me undress. And he'd rape me. And he'd tell me that I deserve it. Because I was just a foster kid.
In the lawsuit, Melissa says she was sexually assaulted by the same staff member.
That's a lot of different times. And so it's so open for abuse in the situation that I was in and the situation that others within were in. Let's see the baby.
You know, that was Michael and Carol. She's wondering when we're going to come over and see the baby.
Oh, see the baby. Again with the baby.
Who are they?
Oh, this guy used to live in the building. They keep calling us to see the baby.
So this would apply to my father. Hey, you got to see my baby,
You got to see the baby. When are you going to see the baby?
Because when you're a baby, you're easy to control. You don't know very much about the world. You're not able to put two and two together and accuse someone of abuse. You're basically a baby.
Can't they just send us a tape?
You're not mentally ill yet, you see. When you're grown up, you're then mentally ill and you're easy to throw away. There we lost our viewer there. Yeah. When you're a baby, you're a baby. Here, let's go back to disclaimer. I didn't grow up that way, but had I did grow up that way, I'd be way more functional than what you're seeing. I wouldn't be alone and isolated in this shithole. You need help. We're coming to help you.
80 times during her 1-year stay at Mingus.
Me, I'm worthless. That I'm never going to get out of Mingus.
And it wasn't just this one staff member.
Told her that she would never get out. So there's a lot of psychological warfare that goes on inside institutions and wards, and never knowing when you're going to get out and having to basically appease the person that's holding you captive. And then we lost our viewer there. So, in light of losing our viewer there, we'll go back and view some more music, and I'll stop talking. Because who am I entertaining anyway? What do I do the interview, right? So let's get back to the people that you kill. Right? Yeah, the people that you Oh my God, this is like murder shit. On her pressure points, knowing exactly where to harm her. Oh, I'm sorry.
The remote nature of the facility itself.
They took her out in the snow and
I'm
tortured her in
screaming.
the snow.
Did you report this?
I kept reporting the abuse over
Kept
and over.
reporting the abuse.
The remote nature of the facility itself
Remote
lends
nature.
itself to keeping the secrecy of
So
what is happening with
basically, they have
Mingus.
these remote
Ashley
sites
Crowell
in
is one of
America
Melissa's
where women are
attorneys.
tortured.
A case of
This has been happening for a long time and act like they're protecting women. Meanwhile, they give young males, and don't you stop watching, they give young males, and who knows how often women are horrified by the depths of what I cover, that they just have to run away, screaming, oh my God, there goes another one. There goes another one. Just absolute madness. So these torture chambers do exist in America and probably are being planned for the future. And that's what I was exposed to. Human fucking cruelty on the inside. And on the outside, my audience is cruel. My audience doesn't even give a fuck about the negativity they've been exposed to at the hands of other fucking human beings.
of neglect and physical and sexual abuse
Good morning.
that has been ongoing and occurring for years.
She's talking about what the lawsuit alleges happened to all of the 13 female victims.
The individuals that are sent to Mingus are the most vulnerable of our population. And they are told repeatedly that no one will believe you.
According to the lawsuit, when Melissa attempted to report the sexual assaults to a supervisor, she was told to shut up or she would be unable to go home.
My pleas meant nothing to them,
Okay.
and something needs to be done about it.
All right.
Melissa says this photo was taken the day she finally left Mingus. It was an officer who she says took her away from the pain.
I want any other girl out there to know, and for myself, that you are strong. I am a survivor, and there are people that do care. There are people that will help.
In the next story, suspect trafficker with New Mexico ties arrested. This highlights an ever-growing problem of women involving themselves in the trafficking industry,
They say the arrest came as a result of agents working
which
together.
the content creators involved in misandry, which I have called out and pointed out on this channel, they don't talk about that.
And is linked to
Or the men that are against human trafficking. They don't talk about
Operation Disruption. Here's Leah Chavez.
Operation Disruption began last fall,
So this
mostly
whole
along
human
the
trafficking
southern border.
epidemic hurts more than women. It hurts and has been tarnishing the reputation of men.
Its goal is to identify and stop human traffickers. Tonight, officials calling this arrest a breakthrough.
Border Patrol intelligence tells us this is one of the top human traffickers in the state of New Mexico.
Yahair Lizet Lada, now in custody, facing federal charges for human smuggling
And
of illegally
I
smuggling
find
migrants.
Latinas to be attractive, very attractive. So I'm very concerned about their well-being, being that they're so attractive. But I can't find any that are actually against human trafficking and actually give a fuck about the things that I'm talking about. So it's kind of complicated. Have seen an increase in female Latina human traffickers. Oh, yeah.
from Mexico to our state and then forcing them to pay her, allegedly
And
collecting
are they themselves pawns in a greater machine? Obviously.
$500,000 as a result.
This was a suspect who is accused of.
So we see a lot of
trafficking
extreme, but that should
huge
not reflect on
numbers of
all Venezuelans, of course not, nor every Hispanic.
human beings.
The
Nor should
exact
white
number
supremacy reflect on every white person, nor should terrorism that happens on occasion in the Middle East reflect on all Arabic immigrants.
Bernalillo County DA Sam
There's
Bregman
something to discuss.
couldn't say because of the ongoing nature of
As
the
I'll,
federal
as I'll
investigation.
discuss in additional videos in the future, it seems like they've really shifted, by the way, the focus from just crime in general to it being caused by immigrants or immigrant or migrant caused crime. Very problem, reaction, solution. That in of itself is its own subject, full of a lot of videos.
Lada arrested Wednesday evening in
Be suspicious of the AI algorithm, even on YouTube, changing the narrative all of a sudden, like a light switch going off. And then all of a sudden, the news appearing a certain way, appearing to be kind of funneled a little bit more specifically. It seems like they do that on a regular basis with news cycles or whatnot.
Oklahoma City.
And definitely now with Trump back in power and having the influence that he does, he is going to be influencing the algorithm. So there's news that I care about, that you care about, that easily can be abused by the right-wing echo chambers.
There with help from Border Patrol.
We took down a big network.
Okay, and we had a viewer there for a minute, but now we don't. Back to our music break. I have no idea what he's saying, but I'm sure you're being praised, venerated, and that you're not being insulted, and that your ass is being kissed. Especially if you're a chick. You're being venerated, so you can like this post. Oh, America's so great. America, the great, beautiful. No need for mascara and eyelash mafia. No need for America, so internally beautiful, so content. No need for 1 billion to be served at McDonald's. That's enough.
Work today.
Authorities saying Leave Lada is the leader of an organization
How much
operating
effort should I put
stash
into this?
houses in Albuquerque, including this one on the west side.
Where they stash these human beings until they are ready to move them out and have them, spread across the country.
Bregman saying the migrants were trafficked in, quote, all kinds of ways. But according to Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham's office, Lada is being charged with human smuggling. So what's the difference?
So human smuggling obviously is taking people and just moving them, and that's it. Human trafficking can involve things like not allowing them to have a cell phone, extorting them for more money, putting them into forced labor situations.
Governor Lujan Grisham's office also saying this arrest came as a result of her organized crime commission. We're told tonight that Lada is currently on her way back to Albuquerque from Oklahoma City to